Hey Miko, how you going? Joel here. Look, just want to yeah, go through and just do a couple of things here. Some little options here. Thanks again for your work so far. Just running through a couple of instructions. So here we go. It's good. The audio could be a bit louder for this part, but if that ruins what you're trying to do next, that's fine. So just see how the audio goes. Plus here, what we want to do. See, this is very overblown here. The drone operator didn't really control the exposure of these shots, unfortunately. So what I've done is just turned on the best color correction, and I've just done these settings here. Exposure, that's pretty much the same. Contrast, I've pushed that up, but what I'll do, I'll just reset this and show you. So first thing I want to do is like the highlights here, the white parts are the most overexposed, so I want to bring them right down. So bringing down the highlights, that's really good. I wonder if I can show the histogram here. Anyway, so bring this right down, and we'll just see. Here we go. So up here is the highlights. This is the shadows in the image. And so see how up the top there's all that really bunched line? That means that there are whites are getting too bright for the image. It's up past 100%. What we're going to do is get the highlights, I'm going to bring that right down to as low as we can go. Then what I'm going to do is get the shadows, and there we go. As you can see, particularly here, just makes it a little bit more not as overexposed. Already we're seeing a great result here. And blacks, we'll just do that. Now, with some of these shots here, if you do see that the image is actually falling apart, like the actual image quality is suffering, that's because I've actually compressed all the files so I can upload them to you quite quickly, and you can download them quite quickly as well. But for files that do deteriorate too much, let me know and I'll actually send through to you the I'll send through to the original file so you can use that. So as you can see here, we're getting quite a big difference, and that looks quite a lot nicer. Bump that up, and
offering more
great. Okay.
More than 40 acres.
Okay, now some of these shots here, they're a little bit too saturated.
More than.
But I'll show you what I mean. So like, yeah, we don't go too crazy.
40 acres of absolute privacy and serenity. This is truly a lifestyle choice.
I'm not sure what happens. For some reason, now this is a small thing. If it's easy to fix, it'd be great. If not, it's fine. But this transition here doesn't work for some reason. I'm not too sure why. Again, it's not a big thing, but if you make this so this one works, that would
choice unrivaled anywhere in the surrounding area.
Okay, this is just show you. This is just not right. The color is not right here. So with this one here, you could have just put the saturation up too much. Also, it's a very green image, so you actually introduce a little bit of blue. There we go. See how that's a bit more natural, a bit more normal colors? That's what we want. Like, if the image is too warm, it's too yellow and warm, that doesn't look too good. So, and this one here again, this one's just overexposed, and also
you've heard it before.
Like here, we can see that. See how his head's really shiny? I mean, that's hard because of his head, but we don't want that. We want to bring
one of the phrases
back to a normal place. And again, I think it's just a bit too much saturation, maybe, and a bit too much exposure or whatever. So you just want to bring that down. You can see that probably better on yours because you have the original file. Be a lot better. Not sure what we're going to do, but yeah, your file should be a lot easier to do this with. And of course, we'll just See that? It's just particularly his head here is a bit too much. It's just a bit too overexposed here. So I mean, we can even brighten it up a bit and a bit of saturation. So even that to that is a big difference. So again, just recolor. Don't have to use my settings that I've done here. Don't do what I've done here because it'll be different for you. But just we want to get rid of this blown out look on his head here, and it's a little bit overexposed. So just bring that back down to a manageable level. One thing
I can confidently say that this truly is your own private resort. Let's take a look.
That noise that you've used in this instance,
Take a look.
swooshing sound, that sounds like he's breathing on the microphone.
Let's take a look.
So it works for some of them, but not in this transition. It doesn't work. So let's just remove that altogether.
Let's take a look. Open the front door and be immersed.
It's quite a nice looking shot. The whites are white, you know. And that's what we look for, is the whites to be white.
Open the front door and be immersed in space and luxury.
This one here, that's probably, the light itself is probably very, very yellow, I guess. That's fine. We don't need too saturated. I think lots of it.
The living areas are.
Okay, and this shot
here. The living areas are.
This is quite a boring shot. And I know you've done a good job, you know, because the footage I've given you probably not too much variation, but
massive, and there's plenty of them. Everything from the huge open plain. There's plenty of them.
Here. And again, we want to get rid of what we want it to be like. We want it to look like. Okay, these are all too yellow. Like it's probably getting a bit of saturation put onto it. We need to be more neutral, and because bright and white looks clean. That's what we want. See this one here? And again, I have hiding the color here, but let's just reset this. Okay, so this is what you got. Now this is a nice clean image. Again, it's a bright image, so you can't probably do it with every single shot, because maybe some are a bit darker. But what you want to do is, first of all, this again, I'm not sure you have got some saturation on there, but we can't have saturation inside the house. We usually never do that. Again, because we want it to be nice and bright and clean, so let's just bring that down. And yours will be better than mine, because it's original. Yeah, so look, from that to that, you can probably throw a bit of blue in there potentially. So look, now look at this. This is what I've done here. A bit of blue making it look whiter, which is natural light, light from the sun, as opposed to an orangey light that's more like these artificial lightings. And in some scenarios it may work, but tonight we want to do this. Again, don't go off this. I'm just doing it as a general example. You know, there's a little bit of orange there, but that's gone from that to that, that to that, and we want this. This looks clean. This looks nice. This looks. This is the look we're after.
The living areas are massive, and there's plenty of them. Everything from the huge open plain living in.
Okay, this shot here. Reverse this shot. Go from here and into the space, not away from the space of this shot. So reverse this shot.
Everything from the huge open plain living and meals area to the large separate family room and onto your own custom media.
Now I'm pretty sure this is the teenage retreat shot here. Okay.
Living and meals area to the large separate family room and onto your own custom media room and generous teenage retreat.
Okay.
Own
So
custom media room.
The media room's here. I want you to cut to another shot. I want you to cut to another shot of it from inside, looking at the media room.
Media room and generous teenage retreat. You won't ever worry. You won't ever worry about space again when living here. The bedrooms are truly some of the largest I've ever seen. Have a look at this big room. And you know what? This isn't even the master. The master bedroom is bigger again.
As you can see again, like this is nice, bright. Like obviously this is the best shot here.
Truly some of the largest I've ever seen.
And again, because the sun's coming in, but it's a nice, clean looking shot. That's what we want. Not much saturation in it. We want nice, bright whites.
Have a look at this big.
So this one here, maybe get rid of that a bit. Shadows, boosted.
Big room. And you know what? This isn't even the master. The master bedroom is.
This one here, I'm not sure what's happened here. This. Okay, I can see you've put some. I'm not sure if it's a filter or, you know, the color temperature. Like it's all quite yellowish looking. So let's just look and I'll just try and tidy this up right now. Let's see what's going on. So from that to that, again, light and bright in our house means clean, and that's what we want. We want clean look, clean feel, and let's go back to, yeah, so this one here.
The master.
From that, and with this one needs a bit of contrast, this shot. And there's something not quite right about this shot. Anyway, you work it out, but just clean and bright. And the thing is, different shots need different amount of.
This isn't even the master. The master.
You know, unfortunately, you can't use the same settings across every single shot, or else it just doesn't work.
This 3-bathroom.
You can see there, like.
This